Good morning, everybody. I'm in the shop this morning. It's minus 16 outside. With the wind chill, it's minus 27, so that's a good day to be indoors. That's Celsius, mind you. I don't know what it is in freedom units for my friends south of the border, but I'm in here with the shop furnace going, and I thought I'd share a little bit of information with you guys. I have had to replace a distributor in a customer's car. This is one of these electronic conversions out there for points ignition. This is the whole distributor that you change out, but a lot of them, they just supply the little module, and it's for people wanting electronic ignition. I understand why people want it. Points ignition is good for most of your driving needs. I mean, you really only start to have trouble with points above about 6,000 RPM, and most people aren't seeing that in their daily driving. So if you're going to drive an old car, points are totally reliable. They hardly ever break so bad that they're not going to get you home. But if you really want an electronic conversion, I'm going to show you the most reliable way to do it, that's easiest to get parts for, and is very unlikely to abandon you in the middle of nowhere, which is what happens with these electronic modules. They work until they don't, and then when they don't, you're on a hook somewhere, or you're phoning me to come get your car at the side of the road. So this is an electronic conversion that uses off-the-shelf parts that you can find in a junkyard or find at pretty much any auto parts store. So, for display purposes here, we're going to have our distributor that has a set of points in it. Points are just a switch, just remember that. So, there's your terminal there, and we're going to have an ignition coil, and that's going to have two terminals on it and your center post. So this one is going to be your negative, this is your positive, and then the terminal from the distributor usually goes down to here. So the first bit we do is we're going to disconnect the terminal from the distributor to the coil negative, and inside the distributor you are going to disconnect the little condenser. Don't remove it, just disconnect it. Leave it in the distributor because it's still going to be useful just in case something happens. The beauty with this conversion is that you can just swap the wires back at the side of the road and drive home on your original points ignition like nothing ever happened. So the parts you're going to need, you go down to the junkyard and you find yourself about an 88 to around 97 Ford, and you're going to want the truck and the van are probably the best because the cars usually have the module mounted to the distributor, and the vans and the trucks have a remote mounted module that's usually on the firewall, and it comes with a nice big heat sink that you can use. Grab the heat sink, the ignition module, and the pigtail that connects to it with some wire on the pigtail so you can make the hookups. This is what's called a Ford TFI ignition, a thick film ignition. And the beauty part is the ignition module handles your dwell and everything else. So the nice part is with the added, of course the dwell is the time that the ignition points close, and that gives you your charge in your ignition coil. Now the problem with points ignition is as your RPM goes up, your points are closed for less time. So the coil has less time to charge. With the module in place, it's going to control, the module controls the dwell rather than the points. The points just trigger the module. So it's going to give you a really good dwell curve and a really hot spark because it's going to charge that coil as much as possible. So if you want to buy the parts from the parts store, the Motorcraft numbers are DY1075 for the module and WPT297 for the pigtail. And that's going to get you an ignition module. It's black. This is a little bigger than what they are. Out like that. And you can hide that anywhere in the engine bay so if you don't want somebody to see it. So, in that module, there are going to be 6 terminals. So, number 6 is going to be a green wire, and that's going to want 12 volts keyed. So you're going to want that to come on when you turn the ignition key to on. Make sure you find a terminal that is on and start. Sometimes you can find one that you don't realize shuts off when you engage the starter. So terminal number 5 is orange, and that goes to your points in your terminal on your distributor. Terminal number 4 is purple, and that's not used. Terminal 3 is red, and that also gets 12 volts from the ignition. Terminal 2 is black, and that goes to your coil negative. And terminal 1, terminal 2 is blue. Terminal 1 is black, and that goes to a good solid ground. And there you have it. That is all that you need. And the reason I like this is there's lots of aftermarket companies out there making ignition parts. A lot of them work really well for people. A lot of people have no problems. Problem is, this little guy fails, and I have to get a new one. And it's a couple of weeks maybe to come in while the customer's car is down. With this system, you go to the parts store, you order it up from Napa or whoever your friendly local auto parts store is, and it shows up that day, maybe the next day, and you're back in business. I have never ever had one of these fail. I owned one of these trucks for 20 years, and it had its original ignition module the whole time. So these are absolutely dead nuts reliable. They work fantastic. And if anything ever goes wrong, all you do is disconnect this, connect the distributor terminal back to the negative, connect the points again, and drive home. And the nice part, or connect the condenser to the points and drive back home again. Now, the really nice thing is too, the ignition points now last almost forever because they're switching milliamps of current instead of amps of current. So they never burn out. And really the rubbing block in the distributor is going to wear out before the points wear out. So yeah, I hope this helps somebody out there. And you know, just remember, when you have something like this, the manufacturers out there have probably solved whatever problem it is that you're having for you. You just need to figure out what car they've done it on and go get those parts. Anyway, good luck everybody, and we'll see you in the shop.